To be here back at our Chinatown Soup Tea Cup.
Tea
Tea
time.
time, and again we have our founder of our tea cup, Benjamin.
What's up, everyone? How you
He's been
doing?
traveling. He's going to travel again. So today I think we can have two goals. One goal is to determine, and I'm traveling too. So as you are on the club, that you should receive our first pour offering,
Yes.
and we have to determine what's the next one gonna be. So today we're gonna do a double tasting on the potentials of our mixed tea.
Amazing.
They're both 75-42, which is interesting. They're both recipe. One is just a little bit older, and from Oolong is the questionable one that shall we do it or not. So while we're having our conversations, we gotta just brew the tea up, and I'm gonna do it blind. So let
Ooh.
Benjamin say yes or no on this, and why. If he doesn't like it, then nobody's gonna drink it. So this is simple as that.
I don't know why they're taking the guy who knows nothing about tea to
Well,
be
you
the
know
taste tester.
You know everything about tea because it's only about your cup of tea. So here, you take a smell of that. So you're traveling from New York to Geneva and a lot of other places to keep going on what's your mission is. And congratulations of the news today that you get a little bit of help and funding.
Yes.
Still, long way to go. We need all the support that we can muscle up. So if anybody who love what Ben's doing, saving the world, saving our planet, and helping all these good intentions to, make it into reality, go to his website or anything like that to connect him. Little
But no one
small
knows what I do.
donations. Everybody knows what you do,
No
but
one knows
we
what I
really
do.
don't know what you really do.
I'm
That's
hidden.
okay. Don't scare us. I think it's important to kind of follow us, having tea conversations and understanding what the guests and me are trying to do in our own way to help the planet. It's a very important things to kind of get that information out from this kind of videos. So here you go. So what's your next project? I know that you are leaving in Geneva to Geneva. You just came back from there in France, and you're leaving on the 10th.
Yeah.
So what's that move? What are you trying to do?
Yeah, I guess for a little bit of context for people who don't know what I do, I'm an artist, I'm an activist. I create large-scale environmental art installations, currently around different UN gatherings. I basically like to say that I try to create pieces of art that are designed for the right people at the right place at the right time. And so from August 4th to 14th, there are delegates from 193 countries that are going to be coming together to negotiate the final round of the global plastic treaty negotiations. And that means that
Plastic.
plastics. So that means that whatever is being discussed right now is going to determine and define the policies that are going to regulate all of plastic production in the entire world.
Wow.
For like decades to come. And so we're behind schedule. This was supposed to happen in November of last year,
Of course.
and it didn't happen. So now there is this event called INC 5.2. The Intergovernmental Negotiation Committee is coming together, and they're negotiating how do we come to a compromise on plastics. And right now there's like a couple teams. You have like Team A, the ambitious group that is trying to ask for limits on plastic production, and limitations on chemicals of concerns and additives, additional regulation to make sure that we're not just dealing with recycling and collections. And then there's the other team that's like, no, it's too hard. Like, we rely too much on plastics. We shouldn't put any limits on plastic production. We just need to focus on making sure that these plastics don't end up going into the ocean, but plastics is fine. And so these are the two groups that are battling it out right now. And so far, it's unclear which one is winning. Because right now, until this point, the negotiations have been operating on a consensus model, which means everyone has to agree, rather than a majority model. So we're going to see what happens. I am not a negotiator. I don't represent a country. I'm an artist. And so I figured, as an artist who's trying to make a difference in the world, there's no better place for me to be than in Geneva. And so I cold emailed my way up the food chain, eventually got permission from the Swiss government to get me permission from the police, to get me permission from the United Nations, so that I can create an art installation right on the outside of where the negotiations are happening.
Wow.
So I'll be creating a 20-foot tall sculpture. It's called currently Toxic Inaction.
Making by plastic?
Nope, it's not made from plastics. It's made from papier-mâché. And we'll have a giant sculpture of Rodin's The Thinker.
Right.
Crushed plastic bottle in one fist, a baby in the other, thinking about what to do while sitting on top of a sculpture of Mother Earth. And then around Mother Earth, you'll have this giant strand of DNA coiled around both of them to symbolize the building blocks of all life on Earth. And every day that the negotiations go by, I'm going to take some plastics and I'm going to drag them and drag more and more plastics into the installation until the entire sculpture is kind of buried. To symbolize the rising cost of inaction, right? And this whole time, the thinker is just going to sit there and continue thinking, not looking at the baby, which represents the next generation.
Right.
And so I'm hoping that this will create like a pretty cool, visceral, emotional response to what's happening in the negotiations.
So how can people help? And first, when are we starting?
Yeah.
When is this starting? Like, when are we really?
Well, I'm going there in like 5 days. And
Okay.
I'm going to be looking for volunteers, people who want to help. We are looking for local people to collect plastics that are
Trip to Geneva.
We need volunteers in Geneva to like tie plastics and move it around and all this other stuff. But we're also looking for funders, organizations that high net worth individuals that might want to support this kind of meaningful art. This isn't just art. This isn't just education. This isn't just community mobilization. It's all of this together because we are engaging over 10 different local organizations, nonprofits, students to collect the plastics, tie them together, be a part of this project. We have over 12 international NGOs like Break Free from Plastics and Greenpeace that are going to communicate the art out in the world. And we're making a documentary, all this stuff.
If people want to donate, you can go to your...
How do they donate? That's a great question.
5 days left. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, I guess I haven't done like a crowdfunding because I've been trying to get money from higher net worth individuals.
If people just want to do a little donations, what do they do?
Yeah, they can head over to unforgettablelabs.com. So unforgettable, it's a spelling test. You have to know how to spell unforgettable. UNFORGETTABL. Yeah, unforgettablelabs.com, and you can kind of find out more information. But that's
Wonderful.
what I'm up to.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I hope it works.
I've been hearing it, and then you have another one in New York City.
If everything goes according to plan, I have a meeting with UNICEF and the UN events team on Monday to see if I can get permission to build something at Climate Week, which is in September in New York City. And same thing, I'm going to need to raise somewhere like $50,000, I think, probably a little bit more
That will
to pull that one together.
The New York one.
Yeah, the New York one I think is smaller.
Okay.
That one's only like 8 or 9 feet tall.
Okay. And volunteers definitely.
Volunteers, I think we'll need a couple volunteers that want to do some sculpting. So that concept is going to be the Tree of Life supporting an overpopulated city.
People will share again or no?
It'll be like kind of like this kind of like
Wiring.
Yeah, it would be wired plus like a sort of, I think, fiberglass reinforced concrete.
Oh wow!
And then the top will be laser cut wood, thin wood, and we really want to highlight this idea of the Tree of Life supporting all life on Earth, and a bunch of people and excavators coming in and digging up the tree and cutting down and breaking down the very structure of life to really talk about how we're stuck in an extractive economy where the world is crumbling underneath us.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
it's always a little bit dark. I think I need to have some stuff that's more funny and fun.
Well, let's drink the tea and see which one help us to be
more funny,
more funnier or more darker. So.
Yeah, no, seriously.
So let's just pick one.
There you go. One lighter one and one darker one.
It's almost like an oracle. Lets the tea guide us. This is also a way of, sharing tea, is having open conversations with the friends and people that you really admire and love. And just don't tell them what you're serving, and have that tea and see how it resonates with you. And it all tells a story. So it's good to kind of do it blind in a way, and we can see. Sometimes when our body or our intentions need some more energy to help to push it through, we usually pick the stronger versions of it. But sometimes it's not just by taste it's stronger, that means it's strong, it's a more powerful tea. Sometimes it's less aromatic, less taste in a way, but the energy is much more powerful. So this is a good time to try that and see where first our energy is on that. Right. I'm also traveling. I will be one day apart from going to the airport with.
I know, you're heading off to Hong Kong.
Yeah, I'm going to Hong Kong this time. We're launching a project that I've been working for 2 years on the Age Vintage 4. So we're going to launch that in Hong Kong. So if anybody is in Hong Kong, we'll have a couple of events there.
Christine.
I know, she might be in Vietnam.
Ah, boom.
Again, Christine is the one that we connect everybody.
Yeah, we have our one mutual friend.
And she's in Hong Kong right now, but she's doing a book launch, I think. But then she'd be traveling. Hopefully she will join, because it will be fun. We're tasting something from the 40s to the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s to the 90s. So something that if you're a tea lover, shouldn't be missed on that. Okay?
Is that going to be like a ticketed event?
It'll have to be a ticket.
Yeah, because I mean,
the
the value of the teas you're serving are sky high.
Yeah, well, it will be ticketed, but the ticket is basically just to cover the foundations of it.
Cool.
So, what do you think?
So the first tea just tasted more familiar. It tasted like something more common, and the second one tasted different from what I've had before. It felt more like complex, both clearly Sheng pours, but like, I don't know if it was weirder. I don't know if it's weird in a better way or weird in a worse way. That feels a little unclear to me. But the first one.
One step back is, how are we doing on the tea club so far? As you founded it. I mean, we are on month number 4.
Tea number 3.
Tea number 3 right now, right? So how is the curve? How is the pacing of it? And have you tried the last one yet, or you're still waiting for the last one?
No, I have the pour with me right now.
Oh, but you didn't
I haven't
try
had
it
it yet. I watched your video today though.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, cool. It was a fun video.
Anything that you think that I need to help, push more informations on the
No, I think it's actually like the perfect length. It's like 20-minute little tutorial. I think like there's always this desire for more.
Of course. And
I also enjoy this like bite-size little pieces of the puzzle. It's actually kind of fun to get little. It's almost like a tease of a good book. You get a little like hint. This is what's going on over here. This is a little bit of information, and you get to play over time, which feels nice.
I think the discovery is what I think that the game of it is for.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you everything.
Exactly.
But you have to discover, because once you discover, and everybody have a different kind of discovery. It's really based on your upbringing, your experience in life, of course your character, your own characters on seeing things. So, it's great to have a little bit of a space for you to grow on learning it.
Yeah.
The communication part is very important. Like today, we started with a topic first, and then we're going into it and see how this worked on it. Second brew on mystery tea. Both mysteries on that. So when we're doing a side by side, what we can usually do is we have one slurp of one tea we want to sample, and then we have 2 slurp of the second tea we want to sample. This way, it really kind of confirm on the second one, not the first one. Then we go back like this on 2 slurp, then 2 slurp, then 2 slurp back. Okay. And let that goes down and feel the heat of it. Sometimes it gives you a different kind of heat. Today is pretty hot and humid.
Very hot.
But, this will basically cool you down on it. So I think we feel a lot of excitement, especially that we, less than a week before we venturing out to the real world again. Not that we're not in the real world here. So there's a lot of excitement that we build, and especially every time I see Ben, I'm very happy and just very chick-chack on things. So you can feel that our energy in the beginning is very yes, let's do it, let's go, but I don't know what going on, let's do it. And now we going back to here, we calm down a little bit on it, the tea kind of sits you down. It's a very important feeling of that, because then once we really feel the teas in our body, we can feel that energy is within us. It's going to start to slow us down a bit, even though our glaze, seeing things are slowing down a little bit more. And then we can really think about, okay, the project that we're going to go forward on, great news come in that, you got another funding on it. Yeah. And then we set up another think about, okay, how do we contribute and sponsor? And that's Michelle to sponsor in it, and Ben said, oh, right, I forgot about how people can give me money on this. So
you're the second person to tell me today, why don't you let people give you money? I'm like, because I don't want to just take money from anyone.
Well, it's not taking money; it's a support, right?
I know.
I think we can't see it oh my God, we're selling a product. Let's get as much, We're not doing that. We're doing this in a bigger context, right? So even though I would not have that piece of art at home, but every time I go on to the media and see it, that you are helping to make this happen, and that's a very important part of what this journey is about. So I think, at this point, the tea kind of give you a little, all right, we have a little bit of time. Let me run down through every single thing that we need to do. Let's start with the aromatic of it, body and spirit and everything, just like what we're going through as the tea, and see if everything is aligning to it. And if it's not aligning to it, it's something that, oh my God, I have to do something else, which great, because then that's a realizations of, okay, this is something, now I have the extra time of it, why don't I do it? Same as when you're drinking the tea, when you drink it, if you really sit with it a little bit and then let it come back to you, you find something else that you were expecting. And when you expect your taste, then you're doing tasting, that's kind of the worst thing you can do on the tasting, because then the tea is not speaking to you. You are speaking to yourself. There's really no conversation. Your mind is just doing the talking, not the tea. So, how do you feel?
I love doing tea. I think there's just something so fun about I feel like I have no idea what I'm tasting, and I'm trying, and the act of just sitting and trying and feeling into it just brings you straight into the present, and you're almost just receiving that moment of calm,
right,
as a byproduct of just having the space for us to explore.
But also thinking about what am I tasting could open it up to be, okay, I don't need to know what I'm tasting. Whatever that comes to me is a new discovery. It's almost like going to see a movie, right? If you go to see a movie and you know exactly every scenes that are going to happen, that's not going to a movie. That's just replaying something that you're really so familiar with. But if we go into a movie that you never seen before and you're really anxious, you know it's going to be a great movie, and that's just right on that moment. Just whatever it comes to you, enjoy that sense of it, right? So, and that sense will give you peace because you're stepping back to really not thinking so much and judging so much on it. And that's the beauty of it, in a sense. And you can do this by yourself, and you can do this with friends.
So much better with friends.
Doing by yourself is hard.
It's hard.
It's discipline, right?
Yeah, it's like meditation.
It's
Much easier to meditate with people.
Well, yeah, I would also say so, but then if I believe if it's not hard, is the reward won't be as
Rich.
great.
You're
in
just a masochist. You like to suffer.
Well, I don't think I like to suffer, but I think that I like to understand. I'm not suffering per se. I'm enjoying the journey. It's like climbing up. If you are hikers and you go onto a trail, I don't think that's suffering. That's enjoying. Even if you sweat, you're sweating so much out of it. I don't think that's a suffering either. So,
Boys.
I think the tales of boys again to show up on
That
this.
was great.
So which one on this one you are resonating with?
I think I'm leaning more towards the second one.
The second one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Is it because it's stronger?
I think I enjoy it feels like a combination that you have the freshness of the Shang, but you have this sort of bitterness that feels a little deeper than the other one.
Great. So the third tea that we jump into this time is Pour. The third tea, right? Is Pour. We have in educations on the first tea is a light oolong, and then we go into roasted oolong. The roasted oolong is introductory into aging tea. And then the third one now is a Pour that is raw, has also been aged. And when we talk about Pour aging, besides talking about the locations, where it's from, who's making it, the more important is how are people storing it. So it's important to see that there's two kinds of tea here. One is called natural storage, meaning that it's season. You go through the humidity, you go through the spring, summer, autumns, and winters. So it actually absorbs the elements on the moisture levels and the temperature difference. The oolong one, which is the one that we're tasting right now, which we don't know which one yet for Ben, is called dry storage, which really a big topics in vintage age pour that people are dry storage pour tea. And a lot of people say that, oh, then you don't have the swampiness, you don't have the high humidity of it. And it's still really a testing ground on that. Dry storage really started from 1990s. And to this day, people really believe in dry storage. This one was dry storage in actually Chinatown, which is where the tea came from. So when you have dry storage, you don't have open storages, meaning that your windows are not open. You are really contained in a humidity and temperature control warehouse. So it's much cleaner. It's much more stable. It doesn't have the fluctuation on the season. But is it better? So it's up to you on the next one to see which one you prefer then, right? So
everyone's gonna get to taste the two?
Yeah. This you have one now. We're gonna send you the second one.
Nice.
When I am in Hong Kong.
So they should not finish the first one.
But they have enough to try, and we were gonna push for another pour after that. So what we're gonna do on the other one is just a little teaser on it. Will be traditional Hong Kong storage, which is something that is very different than wet storage. Traditional Hong Kong storage is a very rare storage that I'm lucky enough to have access to on that one.
I think I've changed my mind. I think I enjoy drinking the first one more, but I find the second one more interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually think it's like the first one's actually very easy to drink. It feels very like smooth, but the other one's just like more like I find it just weirder, and that's why I'm like I thought I would like the second one because
You like
I
weird
like
things.
I like novelty.
You
So this is a personal bias in life in general. Like I always go for the
Character.
new things.
right.
But I think I've been flipping which one I'm drinking first and which I'm drinking second. I'm like, no, I actually have a greater enjoyment with the first one.
Great.
Yeah.
So this two project would probably take over your 2025. Is that more coming
Yeah, there's a third one I'm trying to do.
in 2025?
Yeah, in December. If I manage to pull it up together.
Where is that gonna be?
Brazil. I want to make a cathedral, a chainsaw cathedral
Chainsaw.
out of like 150 used chainsaws that we would collect in Brazil and paint them all gold and then build an entire structure made from golden chainsaws.
And is that a conference going on there? Is that
Yeah, it's the COP30, so the big climate conference that happens every year.
So all the indigenous tribe will be
and
there.
all
too,
the indigenous,
protesting?
exactly.
Wow.
And I have a call with a bunch of indigenous leaders tomorrow at 3 p.m. And we're gonna see if they can, if they can give me their blessing and I can partner with them to do this. I think I might get what I'm looking for.
How do you get their blessing?
I'm talking to them.
Just by talking, they can.
Well, I want
feel
them.
you.
I want the indigenous organization itself to endorse me, and we work together to present a project
They're
to
gonna
the
see
Brazilian
your
government.
aura. They're gonna see.
I mean, I don't know,
Who
man.
you? And looking at boy, I think you're gonna pass that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Right?
We'll see.
Looking at him in the sense, that's amazing. So
Well,
you're
if
gonna
it,
be.
don't celebrate yet. My projects have a big chance of failure. I dream big, and I also don't know.
Well, I always think that you just the mentality is like doing it.
Just try.
Right.
Just try.
Anything that they throw at you only make you stronger
Yeah.
because you can always do it again.
Yeah. Well,
Better.
the ideas get composted. I think that's the thing. That's the truth. Is that the ideas don't disappear. That you just put them away for a little while, and then you
Yeah,
come back and
kind
you
of like see
attack it
something
again.
like that. So it's wow, that's amazing. Because
So those are the three projects for this year.
December.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And
the best and the worst part of it is none of these are paying me money. I'm not paying myself out of any of these projects.
Well, I don't think you started with that anyway.
I think it's fine. I think the money will come when the money will come.
So
I like to think about it.
anybody can support, please support. I think this is always the idea. Of
No, I think it's better to think about it as if you have rich friends, have them support me. You don't need to support me. Get your rich friends to support me.
Let's send this video to all our friends.
Yeah, exactly,
Just,
exactly. Let the
there's
rich people support it.
Not just the rich.
I mean, we just have so much. There's so much money in the world that I feel like, and there's so many different kinds of capital where you can support someone. Like we think a lot about money, but time and energy and interest and connections, those are all really valuable things. And I think, it's a hard time where a lot of people are struggling. And if you're not in a position where you really have copious amounts of money to throw around, then why would you throw it at art? Take care of yourself first. That's what I think. But
Yeah, I think that's what my father told me. My
Yeah.
mom told us, right?
Yeah.
Feed yourself first before you help others.
Exactly.
On that one. So, but I do think that it depends on how much you eat.
how much
You can also eat maybe 10% less,
No.
and that 10% can give it to
There's
someone.
no
that
reason to
really
eat 10% less. There are people who have 1,000% too much money. That's the people I want to take money from.
Great. So as our first meeting on our videos, we talk about you coming to New York and starting groups and circles and communities. This is gonna be by the end of this year will be your second year,
Yeah.
and then you have 3 more years for your setting to be in New York, right?
Supposed to be. That's
Okay.
supposed to be the plan.
So, what you're just saying, supposed to be, meaning that I think that you're kind of loving New York a little bit more than you expected, and you want to build that community even further on it. How is your community building going on? Like your group gathering that you have at your space. How's the growth of that community doing?
Yeah, building community in New York is hard. Building community in New York, especially when you're not there half the year, is even harder, which is what I do. I travel a lot. And I've been feeling like pretty good. I think
you were doing really, really good.
Yeah,
You
I think
built like 3 community up already.
a tea community, a meta crisis community, and I guess
Your own circles in there.
my own co-living situation. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I think I've been pretty lucky. I've been feeling really fortunate, and I feel very full when I'm in New York. Like,
Full meaning that there's too much to do, I don't have enough time full, or full meaning that I'm content.
like content, yeah. Like
Right.
I'm not starving. I think maybe I'm not always eating the kinds of foods that I want, but like there's always a spread on the table, right? And maybe it could be a little healthier, or maybe it could be have a little bit more protein, or maybe it could have a little bit more greens. Maybe the ratio isn't perfect yet, but as far as like optionality goes,
It's up to your
it's
grab.
all there.
It's
yeah.
up to your grab.
And
Right.
like maybe I'm not putting enough time to take the time to eat, but the
Okay.
buffet is there.
Yeah.
Right? Like I feel that for now. And I think the experiment with New York was really it was less about saying New York is my permanent home,
No.
and more like New York is a place where I can have the largest surface area of awesome humans in the shortest amount of time, and to explore both what interests do I have, and who is connecting with my interest too, right? Like finding that mutuality. And I think the hope is ultimately, to find a situation where I get to go live in community on some land with some people who are like-minded. And I think that trajectory feels still very vibrant and really rich. And I get, most importantly, the journey is still fun. Like,
Do you think the attention span with the group in New York is shorter than other places, like yourself too? Maybe your attention is like, I have 1 hour. No, I have 45 minutes. No, actually 40 minutes now. Let's do that. Do you think there's a big difference on that in New York Times in a way compared to like, San Francisco, that's the sunrise, and is different in that sense?
I think
There's an urgency to it that you need to accomplish, or you don't have that?
there's this
feeling.
thing around, I've been thinking a lot about like the idea of like attraction. So within like a dating context, if you think about dating, whether or not someone is attracted to us matters a lot on how much we're attracted to them.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same with friendships, right? And so one of the reasons I think I end up here fairly often is because you invite me. You're like, when are you coming by?
Yes.
Right? And so
That's what friends do, no?
it is, and it's not common. It's not that common. Or you might not have a reason to, or you might not like the same things. But like we have like a shared passion for tea, and I love sharing this place with my friends. So if I have people coming over, I would bring them over.
Thank you.
And then for you, I think you also want to have these conversations, which is cool. But even without filming, we just end up hanging out anyways. And I know where you are. And so if I'm around, I come by, I say hi. And I think like that energy of availability and openness is not always there
In New York?
in New York, right? So you have like, you're very grounded. Like you're always in this place. So this is a place where I know I can come and I can find you. And that makes it pretty easy to connect.
Safety zone.
Yeah. And I know you're always down for tea. You're always down for conversations. And there's always some cool shit happening in your front door. So, and you're like fun. So it's like, you can bring people to you, and that's also good. So there's a lot of like, the surface area for contact is quite high, but that's not always true with many people. I like to say that some people may be like a little bit slippery, like hard to hold on to, like a bar of soap. And so even if you like them or they smell really good, you can't hold on to them, and you're like, ah.
But they have different agenda.
Yeah, or they're like kind of shifty in this. And the goal is not to hold the bar of soap tighter. There's no point. You just say, ah, cool.
Yeah.
Just not going to work. And then you just, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that could apply to a lot of other places, not just New York in a sense. I think you just see that a little bit faster in New York. You know?
Yeah, in New York, the cycles are so quick,
Yeah,
which is cool.
Because then you can just like, no, this is not right. This is not right. But sometimes we have to go back and see, okay, this person have a reason to do that. You know, can I help? You know, is it something that, you know, people get lost very easily in New York?
Yeah.
Right. They got bombarded with new ideas very easily also, and then they got lost in the new idea that they don't know how to move forward, and they got stuck, and it's like, oh my God, this is not my place anymore.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that happening that I see.
Yeah, I've been noticing a lot like how people spend their time. And so like I struggle to connect with people who go out and stay late very often. Because the way they connect with people is going to a party, drinking, going to a club, doing ketamine. And I'm just like, none of those things are interesting for me. So I naturally don't end up hanging with that category of people.
Yeah, because that's just loneliness.
Yeah.
That's not a fulfilling...
It's like hedonism. I think it's escapism. I think we're trying to escape the tragedy of the current system that we live in or our circumstances, and we're not happy.
Right.
And that isn't to say that all partying is bad. I think there are moments of celebration that are deeply, you know, beautiful and fundamental. It's just that like that's not my primary way of connecting with people.
Right.
I'm all down for like having a moment of celebration, but it's just not my weekly thing.
I think it's important that we understand how comfortable we should be, you know, at a given situations, because if we feel kind of uncomfortable in things, then you become the slippery soap.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to hold on to anything, right? You just keep sliding away. And that could become addictive because, you know, then I don't know where I'm going to go. But then you really don't know where you're going to go. So hopefully the tea always helped me to bring me back. It's like, okay, I'm still here, you know, and you can see like, oh, today, you know, you have that and you've got that. You kind of understand your characters a little bit, that you want something not usual, but then you gravitate towards the other one. On that.
Yeah, the tea is definitely like a really grounding thing. Like now that you're bringing it up in that way, it's like I have a tea platform in my room.
Yes.
Like it's a dedicated. Like I have a room, right?
You're very like OCD on that.
But I have a dedicated place just to have tea, and like that is something that like I have someone coming over tomorrow just to have tea. I have someone staying over at my house right now, and yesterday we did like a 30-minute like tea meditation. It was like just part of something that we can always come back to, and I can invite people into. And I think it's just so great to have this like one thing they can ground into, that like I'm always down to have like an hour with someone and just share some tea. And I think it's so great to have like these practices that bring you close to what lights you up.
I think it's important too, like, you know, if you think about history, right? There's not a lot of civilizations that continue to do one thing for thousands of years. I would not see another civilizations like the Chinese civilizations on tea. If you think about it, it's been from the Han Dynasty, which is 4,000 years ago, to now, that there's always a tea components that became kind of a Chinese culture that we haven't lost, or we haven't been cut into two parts and there's a gap to it. It's always continue on that. And I think what we're doing is the same as what people doing 2,000 years ago, using the same plans to do the same thing on it. And I think there's a reason why this hold on and go through the test of time in a sense.
What fermentation process was the first
They both have.
Like, was it like which is oldest? Like we have 7 kinds of tea: oolong, pu'er, white, yellow.
The
Like, do you know
first
which is the
kind
first one?
of tea came from Yunnan. We believe is commonly seen as Assamic, which is pu'er. Basically.
Which is pu'er. Pu'er was the first
Definitely, yeah.
original, oldest form of tea
So
preparation.
what they do is they pick the leaf. They gather the leaf. They don't really weather them because it's green leaf. You
Yeah.
pick a leaf, it's very good. So you put it into a jar. It's a clay jar. Once you put the green leaf into the jar, you put a charcoal, which is burning amber, because there's no stove. Okay, it's all pit. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you have a charcoal. You throw it in the charcoal with the green leaf, and it starts to burn it. Right. Once you start, and it also dry a little bit. Oh yeah. Does someone want tea?
I do. My goal is just to.
Okay. So once it burns it and you smell the char, you put water in it, and then you stuff that into the fire, so it boils it. So that's how the first tea is done.
Nice.
So was that a green tea? No. Was that a yellow tea? Could be, because they once they pluck it, they put it in the basket. It doesn't need to go through the rubbings, the destructions of the cell around it to get aromatic. But then you still have fermentations, but a very, very light fermentation because it's only maybe 3-4 hours of that. So I would say maybe like a yellow to a white tea process in a sense.
Yeah.
Oolong is definitely the last thing.
The newest one.
The black tea on Shrewport is definitely the last, like,
Innovation.
it started in the 70s, basically. So I would say the indigenous way of drinking that is a complete different thing. It's very bitter. It's very ashy, which that's like charcoal, basically.
Yeah, I guess
Think
it makes
about
sense. It's like over. Yeah.
That charcoal actually help your digestions too. Right? It's charcoal. Imagine. So I think that's the first way of doing it. And when you go to the old mountain and tour, you sit with the elders, which is really hard to, because of the climates and the economy and everything. Everyone's starting to be rich, and 20 years ago when I first got there, they still have the stove, the fire, the live fire, always smoking coming out, and you always have a pot in there. Now you go there, there's like, Viking,
Viking?
the stove.
Oh, yeah.
So
Just modernized.
that changes was so fast and
Yeah.
furious to the point they want everything high end because they have the money now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the change was so sudden. They kind of immediately reject everything from the back. Right. So maybe you can still find the old way of making the medicines the old way.
Yeah.
But
If you find it, let me know. I still have to have a tea tour. I still want to go to China.
We're definitely gonna do that.
We should do a tea tour. You should organize a Chinatown Soup Tea tour in
Well, maybe
Asia.
that's your 2026.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my parents to come.
It's funny because
Go to Chuzhou.
there is a lot of conversations in Chiang Mai. They just launched the what is the very expensive resort, Amman Resort. They just launched a complex of Amman tea resorts in Chiang Mai Mountain. So Amman is like Lion Tree, the Four Seasons of
I see.
resorts. So they were there, and they actually opened up a resort in that tea mountain area.
Okay.
And the worry is that you really gonna destroy it,
Right.
right? With money.
Yeah. It's
Right.
capitalism
It's White
touching
Lotus
everything.
all over again.
Yeah.
Right. So I think there's a lot of needs of a foreign creativities, not local, just they definitely gonna censor it. Like people like you, that you've been doing the awareness globally, to go to Yunnan, go to the tea mountains, and just say, okay, this is inevitable for the modernizations of this area, but there's a way that we can coexist when we're doing this that benefit both sides. So maybe that's the tea was talking to you on the 2000.
I mean, first I need to get there, and then.
It's
figure it
easy
out.
to go there. It's just being
No, but I want to have a plan. I don't want to just go show up there.
well. The plan is I'll come with you.
Great.
I
That's
think,
a good plan.
I think the best plan I ever done on this kind of thing is not to have a plan. Because if you have a plan, your plan is only construct on your own knowledge,
Okay.
which is not there.
So all we need is a date.
All we need is just have a
What?
period of time.
Yeah.
Pack our bags, we go.
Great.
We go.
February. How's your February? Is February a good
It's
time?
March usually.
March?
Because February the tree is not budding yet.
Okay, let's do March.
Yeah. We'll see. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. You all heard about
Let's go
that.
hang out in China in March.
So by March it
do
will
it.
be what? We'll be on our 10th tea
club.
sessions. Then we will come back with our own creations.
There we go. We can make our own tea blend. That'd be so cool.
Well, I'm wishing you all the best.
Yeah. Thank you.
This is amazing to see how, two things on the pot going on.
Two things on the pot. Maybe both happen. Maybe none.
It
No,
will
one
all
one is
happen.
definitely
It will
happening.
happen.
One
It
is
will all
happening.
happen. I believe in you. So, as long as we tell people that, okay, we're doing this, we need help. Let's spread the news and let's
Spread the word. Far
see
and
how
wide.
it goes. Okay? Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Wait.
Hopefully-
You didn't tell us which one was which. Number one.
This one is the new one. This one is what you had,
What I had.
which is the 13.
The
This is the 13.
this is the one that was in our
you
in our
already
third
received
tea.
it. This is the new
Great.
one.
This is
that
the
you
new
want.
one. Great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You like the third one now, but then you
Yeah, I
keep on-
started off really liking the third one because that was quite complex, and then over time was like, this first one's easy. Cool.
Good. All right.
All right.
Thank you.